What's up, everybody? J Heat Sports Media coming at y'all again with that fire as always. Spitting the hot topics and getting the sports conversation started. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Football, basketball, and boxing. Let's get to it. All right, so the subject is boxing. Gervonta Tank Davis is the man right now. He has done big things with his stoppage of Frank Martin. I love the Ghostbusters music playing as he was coming into the ring to take on Frank the Ghost Martin. Kudos to Frank Martin and his team for stepping up to the plate and being willing to fight a guy like Gervonta Tank Davis for his first title match. That's a big time opponent. Tank was not scared in no sense of the word. But he got into some deep waters he wasn't ready for. Tank warned him. And Tank showed him. Tank is one of the two faces of boxing along with Canelo Alvarez. And Tank is increasingly catching up, in my opinion, to Canelo. Especially as he does what Canelo isn't doing lately. And that's fighting the fights that we really want to see. After taking on the fight with Ryan Garcia, to follow it up with Frank the Ghost Martin, that meant something. Frank is, to me, the best boxer I think Tank has been in the ring with up until now. But he checked him off. His team has prepared Tank throughout his career, and they've carefully orchestrated his career. And now he wants to take on all comers as he is in his prime of his career. And he's taken on two quality opponents in his last two fights. Now the question is, who's next? Well, Tank is indeed the best fighter, in my opinion, at 140 pounds or 135 pounds or 130. Any of those three, which he could probably, if he really wanted to, make 130, and he can definitely make 140. He's the best fighter right now. At one point in time, I was starting to question whether it was him, Devin Haney, or Shakur Stevenson, but I think you gotta give it to Tank right now. Not just as the draw, the most exciting box office, as they say, boxer out there. I'm talking about the best. He still could use some improvement on his boxing skills in terms of how he avoids getting hit, working on his defense a little better. But he has improved over the years, so I expect it to continue. We know about his power, we know about his chin, and he's patient in the ring. He knows his opponent and is prepared to take away their weaknesses, or I should say attack their weaknesses and take away their strengths. So next, in my humble opinion, I think Lomachenko is next. At one point, Vasily was somebody who Tank's team, and from what I can tell, kept him away from. Didn't think he was ready at the time. Maybe that was the case. Maybe he should have got the shot. But regardless, Loma looked pretty decent in his last fight and is approaching the age where he's not in his prime anymore, but he's still good, and it's still a good fight to make with him and Tank. And you got to do it now, because the older Loma gets, the less credit Tank will get for winning that fight. People will talk about how it should have happened a long time ago, and that's already the case now, but now is the best time. It's not going to get any better. And I know he seems to want to fight Loma. Now, does Loma want him at this point? But if Loma's interested, I think that's the next fight. It's a skilled opponent, even better than Frank. He'd be going up in competition and continuing to be impressive if he wins, especially if he stops Loma. Sad part about it is, if he stops Loma, maybe that's Loma's career for you. Who knows? We'll have to see. But I think you do that fight first, then Shakur Stevenson. That's the big time fight. That's the one boxer, while I will say right now I'm going to put Tank above him at 135, if there was a fighter I think could figure out a way to beat Tank, it'd be Shakur Stevenson. So I can't wait to see that fight. I think it's a 50-50 fight. And I think even though Shakur didn't look quite as impressive in his last fight, he has a lot of talent and skill and the heart to make things difficult for Tank, especially with his defense and his skill in the ring. He's not going to hurt Tank. He ain't a power puncher, unlike what Stephen A. Smith said on First Take. I don't know who's doing the research for Stephen A., but he is not known for his power. But he is known for his skill, his accuracy, his precision, and his ring generalship, his ring IQ. But Tank has a lot of that too, and these guys have a little history. So that would be the big fight at 135. And after that, the question is, does Tank want to go to 140? Does he want to see Timofeo Lopez? I think that would be a big-time money fight for both fighters, and one that would be exciting to see. I used to want to see Devin Haney. Right now, Devin's got to get himself back in the ring and prove himself. I know the Garcia fight, the controversy behind that with him getting caught for the performance enhancers, but Devin just got beaten that fight. I think it was more than just performance enhancers, and he's got to redeem himself first before he gets an opportunity with a guy like Tank. That's it for now. More to come on this later. All right, that's all the time I got. Y'all know what it is, and you know who you looking for. J Heat Sports Media. Remember to like, subscribe, or get at me in the comments. Let's go back and forth. Find me on YouTube, Instagram, X, and TikTok. And if you got Facebook, join my group, J Heat Sports Media.